Welcome back to Cephas Unscripted, episode 163. Revan, the URC is back. But first and foremost, tell us what's going on with those tan lines on the arm.
This is golf, my man. This is literally what golf does to you, unfortunately. Especially in Joburg, where the sun's like destroys you, and then like because you wear a shirt, you get this farmer's tan, you know. But I like it. It's pretty. It's character.
Oh, well.
It's got character, you know.
Well, to be fair, right, you've got that. I played paintball for bachelors this weekend, so my back's all fucked up. Like I was shot like crazy because we had to do like a chicken run. So everyone's like on a hill and you just like sprint across and there's like 10 guys just firing up on you. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just silly.
Paintball's always good though. Paintball's always good.
Yeah. Anyway, URC back. You excited?
I don't know. I've got.
It's the Safa derbies. You gotta be.
Yeah, of course I'm excited. Just Sharks obviously looking stronger this season. So yeah, my team Bulls take on Sharks. Yours against the Lions. Lions looking good this season. So at least you guys are at home. We're obviously in Durban. So it's going to be interesting.
It's the weekend of derbies, right? Like literally every single game is a derby. This is a great way to. Is there another weekend of rugby after this one? Is this the last one?
So I think you guys play the Sharks next weekend as well. You do because I'm going to that one as well. So I don't know if that's like a game in hand where you kind of have to just play it. I'm not sure, but I know the Bulls are done for the year. We only come back in Jan after this game, but I know you guys play next week.
Okay, fair enough. People, please do remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, do go into the comment section or the description of the video and join our SUPERBRU League. Obviously, we had one now for the Champions Cup that will obviously still be running, but we've also got a URC one. So please do join us. And thank you everyone for this year of growth. This weekend might be a review, and then we'll do like a 2024 review, I think. And then we'll probably call it done for the year, and then we'll start again first week in Jan, just so everyone can relax, kick back, and kind of just enjoy the Christmas spirit and going into the new year. But anyway, let's start off. Well, obviously, as always, we'll speak about the South African teams. Stormers versus Lions, Cape Town. I'm gonna be there.
Nice.
I'm gonna be there. Yeah.
Nice.
And you know, Brevan, I made a video about it on TikTok. It is finally time to smile. Like a bit more of a smile, if I could say it like that. We've got a couple of returning players. Frans Malherbe might be back. Ben Jason Dixon might be back. Dion Vree might be back. Marnie Libbok might be back. Sasha Feinberg might be back. And it just feels like a new team, right? For once, we can field a B team instead of a C to D team, which obviously makes me happy, right? And I'm especially happy with just seeing a couple of forwards back in there. I'm still on, like, I know Dion is very old, but obviously he brings that experience. He will come back with the mission. But I still want to see the youngsters. Like, I need to see De Villiers there as well. Like, now's the perfect time with the experiences, with the big boys. Now you bring in youngsters as well. That's kind of what I wanted to see. What I want to see. No. Do you back the Lions to get it done? They're the only team to have done it from South Africa in Cape Town. What are you saying?
I think it's going to be an incredible game, to be fair. I think it's going to be very close. I don't think it's going to be a runaway victory for either team. But realistically, I expect to see Sasha back. But all those names you mentioned, obviously, they are in the process of returning very soon. So you'd expect them to play against the Lions or Lions and Sharks, you know, or just Sharks, depending on when their return is.
Most of them will definitely play against the Bulls in the new year.
Bulls is next year, yeah. So that will definitely happen. So the thing is, you can't write off the Lions this year. I mean, they've been incredible. They've really done a good job. Played some good rugby. And obviously they've now got names that kind of are throwing their names into a hat for that Springbok selection, like Henku van Dijk, Quan Horn.
He's injured again, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he did get injured, didn't he? Jeepers. Okay, this is true. I forgot about that. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, they still have a decent little side going. But I think you guys get that one victory you guys need. I'm going to be honest. I do think Stormers get this one done in Cape Town.
Yes, maybe.
I
fully agree.
I just think it's time. Good couple names returning. Fans will be there to back them. And obviously, like, you guys basically nearly got it done against Toulon. It was just kind of you kind of made that little brain fart, and they just switched it on at the end, and they won it, obviously. But yeah, I no disrespect to the Lions, they aren't a Toulon in my opinion. And I can see you guys winning this one. Not by like incredible amounts, but I think a good close game. I still see you guys winning it by about maybe 6 to 7 points.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah.
Thoughts.
Obviously, you have to take form into consideration. Well, you say that, but then the Lions have dropped off a little bit. But obviously, they've been on tour. But I think these Stormers guys, they'll be hungry. They need to be. I do believe there will be a big crowd. I'm not too sure how many guys have got tickets or whatever to go and watch the game. But the crowd will be up and firing for it. I think there will be more people at this game than at the Sharks game, just because like that is closer to Christmas, closer to the New Year, so then people will be away once again. So this is kind of the final weekend of where you can expect massive crowds to be there. And the Cape Town crowd, they'll be up for it. We've got a great record at home. The guys coming back, they will be hungry. Like, seriously. I think, as I just mentioned, Dion Fourie 38. But, I mean, this guy, he's been out for so long. He'll want to finish his career strong. He'll be up and ready for it. He knows if he gets another injury, it's probably done, right? So, go out crashing, if you ask me. Frans Malherbe, always great to see him. Ben Jason Dixon, I mean, he's vital to the way that we play.
Yeah. I'm keen to see the team selection. Like, if you can have a good couple of those forwards come in for this game, I think it really gives you guys a lot of confidence, because that's where you've been lacking. It's just that the forward pack just hasn't been the same since all these names have been injured, like Ivan Roos, Dion Fourie, etc. So, getting some forwards back is crucial for you guys. And obviously,
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sasha on 12. Do you think? Like if Moni's not back, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sasha at 12 and Yuri Mattia at 10, because John Luke just hasn't done it for me in that 12 jersey.
But isn't he injured as well? Or was that the other?
John Luke Dupree, maybe.
No,
Goodness,
I'm
not
talking
even
about who
you're talking about Dan Duplessis.
Dan Duplessis, sorry.
Yeah, Dan Duplessis is definitely injured, right?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about him returning just yet. But obviously against the Harlequins, we played John Luke and Ruanel, if I'm not mistaken. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sasha at 12 because he has played there before, and Yuri at 10.
Do you think Moni's ready?
If Moni's ready, he goes into that 10 jersey, and then Sasha takes 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would just play Sasha at 10. But obviously, because we don't have an inside centre at the moment, really, not even really, we don't have an inside centre, I'd just play Sasha there because he has played there more than enough occasions to still do a job there.
Yeah. And then, which wing got suspended against Toulon? Was it Hudson-Back or was it Zas?
I'm not sure, bro. I was too drunk while the game was.
But I don't know. I think having those two back, either on wing or I think who's the one that plays 13?
Ronald plays 13, and Hartzenberg can also play 13.
Oh, but Nal's not injured, eh? Or is he? Okay,
no.
cool. No.
You see,
you guys have so many injuries.
The way that you go through the whole team, is he also injured? Yeah, bro, that just tells you.
No, I'm thinking of obviously Dan. But yeah, I think your back line, you guys have enough depth there. I think maybe scrum off is the issue at the moment. but that will get sorted
You
once
don't
Cobus
say.
Reinach. Yeah, once
say.
Cobus Reinach arrives in the Stormers shirt, I think it will be sorted. But yeah, I think that forward pack is important because having the likes of Ben Jason Dixon coming back, wanting to prove a point, Dion Ferry, because he knows like that was a serious injury and it could have ended his career, and that makes you open your perspective to life, and it'll make him just want it even more. If he sees like, okay, this might be my last season or second last season or whatever, kind of just opens your eyes, makes you want it more. And then obviously Frans Malherbe, like whether he comes off the bench or starts, just brings so much experience, and so it's crucial for you guys, and I think just those names alone kind of get you over the line here. But I do expect the Lions to bring some heat, like they've played some great rugby, and obviously they just lost to Munster when they travelled there. And now
But they bounced back, right? So they got a win
exactly.
in the Challenge Cup as well.
Exactly. So I do not expect the Lions to back down, and like I said, I expect it to be close, but I think it's the Stormers' time to get a good win under their belt, which will be important. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Stormers to run away with it in the end.
Okay.
I'm way too cocky about it. I'm just happy we've got a team. So I'm going Stormers by 15 points.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Stormers by 7.
Fair enough. Let's move on to your boys. Sharks versus the Bulls. Brevan, feeling confident after last weekend's performance, traveling to the Shark Tank, taking on the big boys. By the way, we haven't seen any squads yet, so I'm not even sure what Shark team will be. Sharks will go full strength.
No, surely. I think every South African team will go full strength. If they don't, they're just silly because you're not. This is when you rake in the money, like these are your big dogs.
Do you reckon we see Yibben playing for the Sharks?
All of them, Sia, Yibben, all of them. You know what? This is going to be an interesting game because the Bulls obviously had a strong start to the season, and then Champions Cup came, and oh my goodness, like brain
disaster struck.
Just terrible. And then
Jake
obviously
struck.
Sharks, and then there's the Sharks who have improved. Obviously, I mean they have to improve with the names they have. You know what? And the thing is, both teams that I've noticed, they have this tendency, or we keep saying this, but I think both teams struggle with this, is they switch off in the last 20 minutes and they start leaking tries. And I think the team that wins it will be the team that takes advantage of that. And to be honest, and I don't mean to be this negative Nancy about the Bulls, but I just, after that Northampton Saints performance, if there is no bounce back from that, the Sharks will beat us. Like, there's no doubt in my mind the Sharks will get that done if that's the performance we put in. I don't know. It's so weird what the Bulls are going through because on paper, obviously Saints are a great team, but on paper and obviously with the conditions we were in, you fully expected the Bulls to win that, and they just looked like they had no creative ideas. It looked like they were just going back to their bashing rugby that it can only go so far. And at the end of the day, you're looking at the Sharks team who have physical players in their team. So as much as we want to bash up the Sharks, if that's the game plan, you're not going to even get half the success. Because yes, whilst we had success bashing up Northampton Saints physically, we just left it like there was no creativity. And the Sharks, you won't even get half the success. So I can't sit here and say that I'm confident. Obviously worried because I don't know what to expect. But at the end of the day, we always back our team. So if the Bulls do win this, I don't see them running away with it. I see it being a very close 4 or 5 point game. But I think obviously I'm going to do this again. My head says the Sharks, my heart says the Bulls. So
I'll make it easy for you, Brevan. I've got Sharks by 9. I've got the Sharks.
I have Sharks by about 8 in my head.
Sharks at home. Now, I know they don't necessarily always perform in the URC, right? They just stink it out every now and again. But what's the one thing they do? They pitch up for the big games, big occasion players, right? These guys, they'll be ready. It's a derby. It's a massive. Sharks versus Bulls is probably as big as it gets in South Africa, right? That is a That is a blockbuster game. Sia, he'll be ready. Eben, he'll be
I
ready.
like the matchups though. I mean, obviously Cam Honeycomb versus Sia. You have obviously Ulrich Lowe versus Vincent Chichuka or Buthelezi, whoever's at 7. Marcel or Marco van Staden versus whoever goes at 6 for the Sharks. And then obviously that front row battle, Volko, and then Vincent Koch, Oxenshire. It's going to be a great battle.
Literally the bomb squad versus the starting lineup, basically.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to. It literally, and it's going to be great. I really do think it's going to be a good game, but I just think the Sharks will pip it. I mean, the quality they have in their side, I think the Sharks on paper, I mean, obviously the game's yeah, Villy's probably like, I'm going to get you back for not letting me get my 100 caps this season, chop. But obviously, it's going to be interesting. But I think what the Bulls have to do if they want any success in this game is they have to start being a bit more intelligent with the ball, just being more creative. None of this just bashing up and thinking physical. Because physicality, yes, it's our DNA. I get that. But you kind of need, like the Springboks do, they evolve their game. You know, it's not just about the physicality. So the Bulls have some serious homework to do. Got some serious, I think, game plan.
Remember, you look like you sound like the Bulls are in a state of disaster.
No, well, they're not. They're not. I just you're looking at a loss here, maybe, and that's 3 in a row, and you start thinking, with the team we have, is that acceptable? But obviously, it's not panic stations yet. But I've always used my head over my heart. Like I said, I've always done that. So, and I don't see the Bulls winning this. I struggle to see where we would beat the Sharks. But yeah, it's just my head. I'm sure the Bulls fans.
I always speak about the one leveling factor for the Sharks is that they have Plumtree, right? You look at the squad. What's the leveling factor for the Bulls? They have Jake White, and it's just like both teams are like there. And it's just
and then the coaches bring it down. I mean, obviously we will always love Jake for giving us a World Cup, but there's always Eddie Jones. You know, there's an example. If you know Jose Mourinho, there's another example. All of these superstars of coaches will eventually do this, and unfortunately, I think that's what's happening to Jake.
It is what it is. Anyways, So as mentioned, I'm going Sharks by 9. I just think they'll be a bit too strong with the names that they have. I'm really looking forward to that center battle. Do you reckon Canan Moody goes on 13?
Yeah, so it will be David Krill at 12, Canan at 13, I reckon.
Versus Andre Estreisen and Ethan Hooker at the moment. I don't know if is Lukanya unfit.
I'd still start Ethan Hooker over him. I think Lukanya, yeah.
Ethan Hooker versus Canan Moody, battle of the outside centers.
And both youngsters, you know.
Yeah, so well, Ethan Hooker is a lot better of an outside center.
Yeah, I mean, Jake's just throwing Canan in there because obviously, in fact, okay, we won't get into team selections too deeply, but I still, Canan has looked like he's lost a bit of speed, but I still have him on the wing, and I think. Kind of fun.
Do you remember last season, Stedman Gans, when he just came through at outside?
But that's the thing. Stedman Gans is a phenomenal 13. He's like Ronald, basically. They both come from 7s. They're very good runners with the ball. Like super, super intelligent, quick rugby players.
Yeah.
And now he's coming off the bench, and I'm like, that Oak at one point was outperforming Lekanyo in the 13 jersey. That was the reality.
He just randomly got dropped. He was so good. He was insane.
Yeah. But anyway, you're not here to
lovely Jakey. Good stuff, Jakey. Anyway, let's move on to the other games. Ulster Munster. Ulster, they looked good against Bordeaux at home. They're playing again at home against Munster. Tough team to beat. But Munster also. And I just reckon
it's an interesting game.
I'm gonna back Munster to literally scrape over the line. like right at the death, win it by 2 points.
I'm also
Like,
thinking Munster, but also close. Like,
ugly. Really having to fight for that one.
yeah, I think I'm with you. Like, that is a. Obviously, we have Irish in the comments, and they can tell us more about this derby. But I just think Munster will probably have a bit too much. A bit more quality in that side, in my opinion. And I think obviously now a lot of the Irish players are going to be they will be fully back, and
Yeah.
it's a derby. They'll want obviously bragging rights. So yeah, 100%. I'm with you. I think Munster should probably get that done, and I also don't expect it to be runaway, but I expect a single-digit victory for Munster. Let's say about six points.
Fair enough. But I don't want to take anything away from Ulster because they were seriously impressive against a very, very strong
they were.
Bordeaux team.
It's just that switch off.
But they also got bumped by Toulouse. But who wouldn't? Right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Italian derby, Benetton versus Zebre.
Benetton by whatever they want.
I reckon it's closer than.
No way. I know Benetton have been. I mean, they just beat Bath. That's fair. But I don't know.
Yeah. All the reason to stick it out in the weekend after.
Yeah, they are the Argentina of club rugby. I mean, they do have.
I'm going Benetton by 8 points.
Okay, no, I think Benetton by double digits. I'll say Benetton by like 15.
Fair enough. I'm going for the bonus point on this one for the SUPERBRU. I'm hoping Zebra pull out a classy performance and keeps it within 8. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that something like this.
Osprey Scarlets.
It is like just derbies, eh? Jam.
I told you, literally every single one is derby. Literally all of this is derby.
Yeah. But to be fair, it's Christmas time. Everyone's back home, so it makes sense. But that's good because obviously that makes up for good rugby because derbies always bring out the best in teams, So we could be in for a great weekend of rugby.
Exactly. This is going to be a sexy weekend. Yeah. I'm back. Ospreys versus Scarlets. I'm backing the away team. Scarlets, they've been more impressive this season. This is where the SUPERBRU points come in.
That's true. I'm gonna back Ospreys.
Just because they beat the Lions.
The Stormers. No, I'm kidding. Well, they did, but yeah. At the end of the day, Ospreys have always been the most impressive Welsh side for me.
Lost to Zebra.
They did. To be fair, Sharks lost to Zebra. I mean, everyone loses to someone at some point. But yeah, it's just I don't know. The team that impresses me the most out of the Welsh team has always been the Ospreys, and but again, don't expect it to be very like a runaway victory. I expect it to be close, and I think there's better players in that Ospreys team. So yeah, I'm gonna say Ospreys by about let's say 8.
I could be wrong with the Ospreys and the Dragons game. By the way, the Dragons are playing on the 26th of this round, right? So that's on a Thursday. I just realized. But I think isn't there like a derby weekend for these Welsh teams and they call it Judgment Day where both of them play on the same field?
I think it's the second round.
Okay.
I think it happens next year.
Sorry, my brain just totally slipped and I saw it and I was like, it's the same round, but they're playing on the 26th on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And then we are playing obviously this is not football where it's like a double weekend. So yeah, fair enough. Sorry, just went totally off track.
It is when you see a rugby game on a Thursday, it kind of makes you go like, because you don't see that often.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing there? I just feel like it doesn't belong.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Absolutely.
Leinster Connacht. Do you have a sneaky feeling this one is closer than no? I'm going Leinster by 17.
I think Leinster by Yeah, I don't want to copy, but I'm around the same. So let's say Leinster by 19.
Well, I don't. Right. Do you reckon it absolutely steams down raining over
I
there?
don't know.
Because that is
I
the
don't know.
ultimate equalizer to anything.
Yeah, it is. That's true. I don't know. I don't know what the weather's like there. Obviously, if the weather is like that, it makes the game a lot closer. But obviously, we just base our theory on like for like and having the best
Yeah.
rugby conditions.
I'm just going with a cold, windy night. At I reckon they're playing at Viva. Maybe they're playing at the RDS. Um, dry night without steaming rain. I'm going Leinster by 17. That feels fair.
Yeah.
I'll look at the
Is
match build up and
is
then maybe switch the
is
prediction.
Bundy up? I
He
mean,
should be
is Bundy
fine.
back? Because
He should be
I swear he
fine.
was injured at the stage.
Yeah, but he came back and he played at the autumn internationals.
Oh yes, he did. Yes, you're right. And then obviously Hansen as well for Connacht. So
Yeah.
I mean, those are your two players you look at and kind of have like, if you want hope for Connacht, you kind of put them in their hands and do your
What
magic,
about the
boys.
other 20 Irish boys that just all play for
That's
Leinster?
the thing.
And Geordie Barrett.
And Archie Snyman.
And Archie, wow, I completely forgot about Archie Snyman. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Yeah, that
Sunday
Leinster
night.
team is just packed with superheroes. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Second best team in the league after the Stormers and the Sharks. This is actually one that I'm excited for. It's tough to predict because I've either got this one to be super, super close, right? Or totally blowout victory. Glasgow Warriors, Edinburgh. Glasgow's at
that
home.
is tasty, man. That is such a tasty game, actually. Like, that is
because
underrated.
Edinburgh's been on form, right? Well, I don't know how they've done in the Challenge Cup, but they ended off the URC before the Challenge Cup started pretty strong, if I'm not mistaken. But it is
they did.
at the Warriors Stadium. It's in Glasgow.
I do think the Warriors will win. But if, like, again, you just look at the players on hand, and it's like Edinburgh have some quality players, but then you look at Glasgow and you're like, they have some quality players.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think other than Finn, I think a lot of the Scots players are, and obviously Kinghorn as well, but a lot of the Scots players are playing in Scotland. Likes of Tuipulotu, Hugh Jones, I don't know, Carl Stain's not back, I don't think. Duan van der Merwe, Piers Skuman, I mean, I can keep going. But there's a lot of, obviously, Scottish internationals involved here, so I expect it to be physical, tasty. But yeah, I do see the Warriors kind of being too strong. I mean, they are URC champions, again, doing very well, second in the URC, going under the radar in the Champions Cup. I mean, I know I made a blatant mistake in saying who did they play again in the Champions Cup?
They lost to Toulon by 1 point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, okay. And I was like, it would be closer, but they lost by 1 point. What I meant by that was I was actually just trying to say, like,
yeah,
they stood a much better chance, obviously being there in Scotland. But yeah, Toulon is a tough team. I don't care what anyone says. Toulon is a tough team, and
especially at home. Remember,
exactly,
Toulon,
and to lose by 1 point, that Glasgow team is heat. So I fully back them, and Glasgow by 10.
Yeah. All that being said, I'm going Glasgow by 19. Listen,
Oh wow.
Yeah, they are extremely good. And this is not to take away from Edinburgh. I just think, once again, I mean, it's probably old news by now, but them at Glasgow at home, they are just a different animal. The dog in those guys are absolutely crazy. That persistent attack. Now, obviously, I wouldn't say Edinburgh is a bad team or a leaky defense or whatever, but we've seen them leak points before. Right now, obviously, they have times where they pull it close when they're playing at home in that 10,000 seater where the crowd can be up for it and stuff. They are a very tough team to beat. But away against Glasgow with that type of attack that they do, look at what the Lions did to Edinburgh in 40 minutes, right? Look at what the Bulls did to Edinburgh at the start of the season. Now, obviously, they've gained a bit of form, but Glasgow, they'll be hungry for this one. To Derby, and they're coming off a loss against Toulon, which they would probably want to feel like we could have done a bit better there. Wounded Animal, 19 points minimum. That's what I'm going.
Yeah, I'm with you. Glasgow is going to be too strong. It's the thing is like, and also just like because obviously I have family and some like family in Scotland, and it's obviously I have like descendancies from there, and like the rivalry between Edinburgh and Glasgow is like another level. Like I've been to both places. Personally, I'd always back Edinburgh. I mean, that's where my family's from. But it's just people. I think this is such an underrated. Like we talk about Bullstormers, we talk about Leinster, Munster, we talk about these big games, but like you got to give credit where like to these smaller rival, not smaller, but like obviously not many pay attention to this type of rivalry or this derby, but it's such a big derby, and like I completely.
It's an exciting one. Like
it is, and it's got such good players, and I think people should genuinely just
give
it a watch.
Listen, the Scots, they back their teams. I know it's smaller stadiums, but I enjoy watching the Glasgow games. I enjoy watching the games of Edinburgh because it just looks like a vibe to be there. That's why we've spoke about it before. Like I'll do anything to go and watch a game at Murrayfield. Like it just looks.
Oh my goodness, I'd give my left leg to this.
No, you wouldn't.
Scotland.
No, you wouldn't. But yeah, sure.
No, Scotland versus England. I genuinely would give up a lot to go and see that at Murrayfield. Genuinely.
You can like pull a pinky nail or something. I'd stub my toe very hard.
Obviously, Murrayfield's in Edinburgh, but when Glasgow play Edinburgh, I genuinely think they would pack out the Murrayfield. Like genuinely, I believe that. But obviously, because it's.
I think they play those games at Murrayfield, don't they?
I don't know because that's in. I mean, that's pretty unfair. If like it's not a far trip. I mean, I've gone from Glasgow to Edinburgh.
It's walking distance.
Okay, not walking. It's a couple-hour train ride. But yeah,
small country.
Yeah, it's but we're spending a lot of time on this game. But I just feel I'm actually gonna.
It's a fun game to talk about. Talk about fun stuff. There is a full round of rugby next weekend, Brevan. Yeah, the Bulls aren't playing, but there's literally 7 games. Yeah.
Damn, I just thought it was you guys against the Sharks.
No, we'll pop out a quick video on that one. But yeah, anyway, final game: Dragons versus Cardiff. Dragons at home, but Cardiff, they've been on a tear in the URC this season, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually check. Where are they on the table? It feels like we haven't seen URC in so long. I've kind of just forgot where everyone is. Like I'm calling the Stormers, who are in 13th, to beat the Lions by 15 points. That's in 5th. Can you believe it? Yeah, Cardiff in 4th. There you go. Give me Cardiff by 8 points away from home. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think couple-point victory for Cardiff. I mean, Cardiff, like we always said, they never get hammered, but they never get. They never win. They never win by much, but they never lose by much. So it's like one of those teams. So yeah, I think Cardiff will get it done. I think they're lying in 4th. I mean, as a Welsh team, that makes you think like, what are we doing here? Like, let's try and keep it up. So yeah, I mean, if they are lying 4th. Which they are, obviously, but I think that's credit to them, and they should build on that. So yeah, I'll back them to get that done.
Yeah, well, and the Dragons are 16th. Did Zebra beat the Ospreys? No. Did they beat the Dragons?
I don't know. There's a lot of rugby.
I said that Zebra beat the Ospreys, but I gotta feel like I've just lied blatantly on the video. Because they might have beat the Dragons. I'm not even sure.
Maybe.
Can't remember. I'm going Cardiff by 8. By the way, I just see no chance for the Dragons. Well, I'm saying that, but the Dragons are at home.
I'm gonna say Cardiff by 10.
That's a sexy prediction. I do like it.
Because if you look at SUPERBRU, you
I
get more
think
points if it's by 5 or by 15. So it's like it's either hammering or it's close, and you get best of both.
No, Cardiff doesn't win by more than
Yeah, but
10, 15. The thing is, the Dragons, every now and again, they decide to be the most stubborn bitch in the world. And they just like won't let go. They won't just let you run riot, right? Look at what the Sharks had to grind it out there.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think, like we said, it's just it's Derby weekend in the URC, and it's just I think every single game is going to be a grind for at least the first half. Like genuinely.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like,
Literally every single one of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Because if you just look at it, right? Ulster Munster, it just sounds like it's going to be a nitty-gritty game. Benetton Zebre, obviously Zebre will be up for it, but that could get ugly because Benetton's at home, right? Because it's in Treviso. Stormers Lions, either the Lions smash us or we smash the Lions. That's kind of how I feel with this one. I don't think it'll be that close. Sharks Bulls, blockbuster. Osprey Scarlets, ugly. Leinster Connacht, rain. Right?
I still expect Leinster to get that done, but I think the first half will be closer than people think, just because, like I said, Derby, if the weather's tricky as well, it's just all these factors. But like I said, all these games, like very close first half, and then second half is where if they are going to run away with it, I think that's when it will happen.
Okay, Brevan, that's the end. That was a lovely little chat back on the URC. Everyone, please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate you guys. Thank you for the growth that we've all witnessed on this channel in the past year. And obviously, we'll still be here next week to cover that. But then we'll go on a little break and enjoy the festive season and those type of things. So do rest up, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and let's grow 2025. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye-bye.